Hello my loves and happy new year from me and Lucas here. So today I just wanted to do a video of me setting up my TBR for 2022. Lucas, hey, say hello to the camera. Lucas. He's very cuddly this morning and he's not normally like this. So like I explained in my last video, the books that I read between September and December, I have an app on my phone that has a wheel, and that wheel has a few different options. So one is my purchases from 2020 and 2021, the stack of books that I got from my friend Emmy. I do also have one choice that says like I get to pick, and then we can pick from my jar that's up here. So we're going to spin that. I need 9 more books to do my goal of 20. So I'm going to spin that 9 times, write down those answers, and then we will pick the books. If you want to know what the app is called, it is called Daily Decision. The icon is just a rainbow-like spinner wheel. I learned about this app from a booktuber, or a book talker, on TikTok. So I use that. Okay, so I've spun the spinner. I actually have 5 categories. So one of the categories was to reread one of my favorite books. So I actually got one from each of the 5 categories. So I'm going to pick 3 books off of my purchase list. I'm going to pick 1 out of my stack from my friend Emmy. I get to pick 2. I take 2 from my jar, and then I pick to reread one of my favorites. So let us go to those wheels. We'll do the one from Emmy first. See, it's just this. I just spin it. And it just lists out all the different books that I got from Emmy. We'll see which one it lands on. Okay, this is fun. I think I got rid of that book. Okay. Let's go down here and see if I still have it. I don't. Okay, so I never updated the list. I actually got rid of some of the books on this list, so I have to spin it again. One of these on the list is a trilogy, so if I get that one, I'm just going to take off 3 of the books from the list because I'm counting them. So now we are going to spin the wheel of the books that I purchased in 2020 and 2021. Alright, so now let's get the jar. Shutting my door to my nephews. That was fun. Alright, so my TBR jar is this little orange paint can that I covered in stickers that I bought off of Redbubble. So, let us open up the jar. And inside, I have little origami, like envelopes. So we are going to pick 2 of them. I'm gonna try and stick my hand as far down into this jar as I can. I've got a yellow one. Back down in! Okay, I've got 2 yellow slips. I'm gonna close it and just put the jar back. Watch, I've gotten rid of these books. Okay, so the first TBR, I got rid of that one. Oops. Come back here. I should read these before I put the jar away, huh? So one of the yellow slips, I actually got rid of that book, but the other slip actually had 2 books written on it. So that's going to count for both books that were supposed to come from the jar. And since that one is also a wheel here, I'm going to spin my favorites wheel and see which one of those I will reread this year. And when I reread a fave, if it's a series, actually they're all series, I may just read the rest. Okay, so I'm going to grab the books that I wrote down before I pick the 2 more that I want to read. Okay, my pick. Let's look at all these. Alright, got my last pick. Now we're going to take all of these new books, we are going to add them onto my TBR wheel. So because I like to try and read 2 books at once, I added all those books up here except for The Girls Are Never Gone, because I am still reading that book. So I'm going to spin the second book that I'm going to start in the beginning of this year before I add them all to the whiteboard. Alright, so my 2 first reads of the year have been decided. So we are still reading The Girls Are Never Gone by Sarah Glenn Marsh. And then the next book is going to be A Psalm of Storms and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown, which is the sequel to Song of Race and Ruin. Now, let's go through the other books that I am going to attempt, at least, to read this year. So we have We Set the Dark on Fire, and because I bought them at the same time, I also have We Unleash the Merciless Storm. So I'm going to read these one after another since I have them both. We also have Sing Me Forgotten by Jessica S. Olsen. Then we have The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. And then after that is another sequel. We have Harold the Ninth, which is from the Locked Tombs trilogy. I'll Be the One, and this is by Lila Lee. Then we have 2 more books that I'm gonna try and read in tandem. It's The Kite Runner and A Thousand Splendid Suns. And then another sequel. This is the year of sequels. So many 2s in this year, that's probably why. We have The Devil's Thief, which is the sequel to The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. Then we have 2 more books with plus-size main characters, so that is also a theme for me this year, which I am very happy about. We have Fat Chance Charlie Vega, and this is by Crystal Maldonado. And then we have Faith Taking Flight by Julie Murphy. Life on the Color Line by Gregory Howard Williams. And then we have The Three Musketeers, but it is by Alexandre Dumas. Time Salvager by Wesley Chu. Next up is The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. The second to last book is Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and this is by Talia Hibbert. The one book that is not a reread that I have this year, I don't have it yet. It is The Iron Sword by Julie Kagawa. It is the second book, so the sequel to The Iron Raven, so the second book in the Ebenfall series within the Iron Fae. Releases in February, so I don't actually have that one yet, but when it does come out, I am going to read it right away. And so that just leaves the reread that I'm doing this year, and it is actually also Julie Kagawa. It is The Iron King. However, with all that said, now I'm going to put my whiteboard together because I like having it set up. Some of you may be thinking, Monica, why do you do this whole whiteboard setup? You know, you can just have a piece of paper. Well, I have many different colors of Expo markers, and I like it. And I've been doing this board thing since I was in college, so it's a comfort to have it there so I can watch my progress as I go along. So now I need to assign colors. This part, I'm gonna try and do this part as a time lapse. We did it. Alright, so the board's all done. So as you can see, it starts off here, or you can't really see it because of the glare from my lamp. Let me move the lamp. Okay, so it's kind of dark. Can't really put it anywhere else, and it's really dark outside, so that's why I have the lamp right here. But I have my tracker, so out of 20 books, so as I add books, I will change the number. I have the 2 current reads up here, so The Girls Are Never Gone, A Psalm of Race and Ruins. Then we have all the other books listed here, and they are in like alternating colors, just so, you know, they don't get all muddled up when I look at the board. And then down here you can see my pages goal. I have the spot for my average ratings, my DNF counter if I happen to DNF books throughout the year again, and then to keep track of books that I actually rate, you know, so that aren't DNFs. So most of the time my DNFs are 1s and 2s, but I'm still going to leave that on there just in case I read a book all the way through, don't DNF it, and it is a 1-star. So I have that counter here. So this is my board. Thank you for watching with me. I'm sorry I stood in front of the board the entire time, so the time lapse may or may not have happened that I wanted to. Let me know if you have any questions on my board setup, on the books that I'm planning to read, or how I plan to fit 20 books into this coming year, when last year I read a lot of books in the beginning of the year and like no books towards the end of the year. So Leave any suggestions on books you think I should read this year as well. Any upcoming releases, leave that down in the comments. If you have any suggestions for videos that are book related, aren't book related, put those down in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!